Susin Nielsen got her start feeding the cast and crew on the popular television series Degrassi Junior High. They hated her food, but they saw a spark in her writing. Since then, her books have garnered a raft of prestigious awards, including the Governor General's Literary Award. She lives in Vancouver with her family and two extremely destructive cats. Susin shares the story of how she became a writer and gives us a preview of her latest novel, Tremendous Things.
Hi, everybody. I'm delighted to be part of the Telling Tales Festival. My name is Susin Nielsen, and I am the author of Word Nerd, Dear George Clooney, Please Marry My Mom, The Reluctant Journal of Henry K. Larson, We Are All Made of Molecules, Optimists Die First, No Fixed Address, a picture book called Princess Puffy Bottom and Daryl, and the book that brings me here today, Tremendous Things. Now, I have always wanted to be a writer, and in case that just sounds like something I can say now that I am a writer, I actually have proof. This is the first diary I ever kept. I have it here today. I'm going to read you the opening paragraph. I wrote this when I was in 7th grade. You see that most of it is blank because I thought it was very important to write on the date that was at the top of the page. This is the first day I've really written in a diary. The reason I am is because I love writing stories. And if I do grow up to be a famous writer and later die, and they want to get a story of my life, I guess I should keep a diary. So possibly a little bit arrogant, but I'm amazed that maybe aside from the famous part, I was telling my own future at age 11. This is my 7th grade school photo, and you will now get to see which of these charming 7th graders is me. You might even be able to get some fashion tips here. But I really was writing all the time. I like to call this my first published book, The Smallest Snippet of Snippetin. They put it into our school library when I was about 10 years old, and 4 kids took it out of the library. So that was my first readership. I had a readership of 4. And for those of you who are very intrepid, you might see that my name was spelled a bit differently back then. But I truly wrote all the time. I recently discovered all the boxes of my writing out in our garage, and I've got some photos of those as well. So if you are somebody who wants to be a writer, my best advice to you, honestly, is write and read. Write all the time. It doesn't matter if it's garbage, because a lot of that writing is just keep writing. And that brings me to the novel that has brought me to Telling Tales today, Tremendous Things. Tremendous Things is the story of Wilbur. Wilbur, as the book opens, he's just moved to Toronto from Vancouver with his 2 mums, who he nicknames the Mumps, Mum and Mup. And in the very beginning of the book, something really humiliating happens to Wilbur at his brand new school. And the book then shifts to a couple of years later when he started high school with all of the same people that he was with in middle school. And he still can't shake this thing that happened. Wilbur is now 14. He's a kid who really marches to the beat of his own drum, or as we say in the book, he marches to the beat of his own triangle, because he's in the school band and plays triangle. And, he's a bit of a hapless kid, really sweet, but a bit socially inept, like a lot of my characters are. And his best friend is his next door neighbor, 85-year-old Sal. And there's an exchange trip that's happening with the school band and from Paris. And all of these students show up from Paris, and they are all having a billet. a student stay at their house, and Wilbur's billet is named Charlie. And what Wilbur discovers is that Charlie is short for Charlotte. She's a girl. And Wilbur falls head over heels for Charlie. He has his first big crush. And sadly, while she thinks Wilbur is a lovely guy, she doesn't reciprocate the crush. She goes back to Paris, and Wilbur is devastated. And they now get to go back to Paris in a few months, and Wilbur doesn't want to go. And his best friend Sal, along with his friend at school Alex, and his boyfriend Fab, decide to band together and try to help Wilbur be the best version of himself that he can be for that trip to Paris, in the hopes that maybe he can get the girl. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but ultimately I think the book is really about the power at the heart of it. It's really about the power of friendship and about the things that make a truly strong and brave man in particular. And I'm really proud of the book. It's my first book that's set in Toronto. They've all been set in Vancouver so far. And in terms of where I got the idea from, well, I suspect a lot of us have suffered from that embarrassing incident somewhere along the way that takes a long time to shake. Mine was not nearly as bad as Wilbur's, but boy, it took me a long time to shake. I was in 10th grade. I was in the dance club. I loved to dance. I was terrible at it. At the end of the year, we put on a school performance, and I danced with some other girls to a song from the musical Hair, and we had shorts on, little shorts and leotards, and I could hear laughter throughout our performance, and I couldn't figure out why people were laughing because it wasn't supposed to be funny. And it turned out that I had been flying low. My zipper was undone on my shorts through the entire performance. And I was exceedingly embarrassed by that for perhaps a lot longer than I should have been. Now, of course, I can laugh at it. So that was kind of the impetus. But the book is about a lot more than that. I really hope you enjoy it. It's been my pleasure to be here. And have a great day, everybody.
Why not upload your writing, your videos, and your ideas to the Creativity Club on the Telling Tales website? Thank you for joining us. See you again.